Hello everyone, this is Meg at Chasing Retro, and I have a collective haul today. These are things that I have picked up over the past couple of weeks. Some of it this weekend. We went to an estate sale yesterday, about an hour away, and let me tell you, it's worth the drive. And then I also went to a couple of yard sales 2 weeks ago, and I went to my thrift store last week. They are about to close for the summer, the remainder of the summer, so I wanted to go by one more time. And then the last thing is, no, two more things. A used bookstore, and then a five and dime type store, kind of like a Woolworths. We don't have any more Woolworths, but we have sort of a locally owned one. And it's about an hour away, so after the estate sale, we went there as well. And I found a lot of really unique, quirky items there. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. At the thrift store, they had a grab bag of ribbon, and everything was half off. So I think the bag was 50 cents for all of these things. We have some embossed bumblebee black ribbon, or maybe that's a fly, I don't know. And then this hunter green grosgrain. And then this, like a filigree with a gold glitter center, kind of pretty. And it's not old. I mean, that price, that seems really high to me, but this is probably Hobby Lobby, yeah. So this one is, I bought this one separately actually. It was not in the bag, but it's turquoise with lime green on the edge, and it's wired, so I'm gonna have to pull the wires out, but that's okay. And then I found this. This was in the bag. I will reserve this for when I make the wedding journals, whenever I get to those. This, I have some colored lace like this, or ribbon, and I thought it was vintage, but evidently not. And I think this is a Walmart sticker. Department 19, that just looks like Walmart to me. But yeah. Berwick Offray, okay, yeah. But I think that's a Walmart sticker. And then this is also wired, I think. Yeah. This is an old Hobby Lobby, 2011. And it's just a silver. And then I got this knitting ribbon. I didn't know you could knit with ribbon. I knew you could do ribbon embroidery, but I just love, number one, the color. It's like a mauvey lilac. But I also love how thin it is. I think this would be so perfect to put in tags. It would not bulk up your journal at all. And there's quite a bit on this roll. And then I got this one. It's a hunter and olive green hounds buffalo check, but it's wired as well, so I'll have to take the wire out. Kind of fun though. All right. The next thing I found was at a yard sale. I found this. I've cleaned it up significantly. It was so grungy that I could barely read the writing on the front. It was just that it had been stored in a garage, so it was kind of like that thick polleny layer that just accumulates over time. And there's still a little bit of dirt in the crevices, but I did not want to open the plastic and try to get to the cardboard, because I would never be able to make this plastic go back. This has like a tack in it, so I did the best I could. It's by Topper Toys, and I think it's early 70s, 1971, Topper Corporation. There's no dolls in here, and there was not when I bought it. This is just a place for me to store ephemera and just a fun, I'm always looking for fun vintage storage solutions, and this was definitely fitting that bill. Now this plastic thing, you know how plastic degrades over time? It feels sticky, so I may or may not leave that on there. I don't really need a handle to carry it around, so we'll see. It smells very much like old vinyl, if you know what that smell is. Okay, now for the estate sale. I bought a little tin, I'll show you that in a minute, with Easter designs on it. It was just a very unique shaped tin, but inside were these two little wind-ups, and I love wind-up toys. she goes sideways, which I think is hilarious. She's got this like funny look on her face. And then this guy hops around, but you know, these things wear out over time. So he freaks out when you first put him down, and then he hops just a few steps. These just make me smile. I hardly ever pass up wind-up toys if they're a good price. These two things the ladies just tossed in at no charge. I guess someone had bought Tinker toys another day of the sale, but this was left out of it. It was just sitting on a table. So she just let me have this. This is the same manual that I had in my Tinker toy barrel, I guess you call it. I got Tinker toys, I think the Christmas I turned 3. I loved them. I loved playing with them. I liked the way they smelled. But yeah, this, I recognize this little guy. I think this is the same one that was in mine. There's no date. Oh yeah, it is 1972. So it could be that they printed this and then put it inside their Tinker Toy barrels for the next 10 years. I don't know. And then this, she let me have this. It had a broken sewing machine foot in it. But look how beautiful this bag is. It's just so pretty. How could I not pick this little gem up? I found a couple of little Goldens. 4 of them, actually. I got the Sleepy book. I don't know. This is Hibernation. Maybe it was a teacher, and she was categorizing her books by subject matter. 1985, age 3. I mainly got it for the cover, but it's a cute book. Margaret Wise Brown, you can't go wrong with her. And then I found this one, Cars and Trucks, and it's old because there's no barcode. I didn't have this one. I thought this would make a cute boy's journal, if I ever decide to do that. I only let myself pick up Golden books this time that I didn't already have. I had a Scuffy at one point, but I think I gave it away in Happy Meal. So I got this one because I, at some point, want to make a boat journal. Oh, look, it still has the little sweepstakes inside. And then I Can Fly. I know this one was recently reprinted, but I don't know how old this printing is. 2002. Got those. And then this right here is what I found at the used bookstore. Look at this. It is, the edge of the book is cut like pinking shears. Is that not so creative? And it is about how to incorporate fabric in your paper crafting, or technically scrapbooking, but we all know that scrapbooking was like a segue onto the interstate of junk journaling. So it was, I think, $5, but I thought it was well worth that just to be able to have a book of inspiration and ideas to look at. There's lots of cool things in here. If you guys, I would consider this a Bolo book, which is hosted by Angela the Traveling Crafter. It's a little collab. I'll link her channel, but that means be on the lookout. So be on the lookout for this book. It's a little dated and it's a little bit grungy compared to what I normally make or pick out. But it's not just scrapbooking, it's embellishing lampshades and stuff that I like to do also. So, like, look at this. Isn't that beautiful? It's like a quilted layout. And here is just a bunch of snippets with little knots tied in it. I don't know that I would ever do something this detailed on a page, but for a cover, that would be really cute. Something that you would see all the time. Just sewing, look at that, it's just sewing ribbons across the page. How cute. See, I would never have thought of that. And the rickrack, everybody look at all this rickrack. What in the world? This would also make a beautiful mat for a photo frame. I think that'd be cool. All right, so this is called Designing with Fabric by Autumn Leaves Publication, if you want to look for that one. Some more books that I found at the estate sale. I found this reader. It's an Alice and Jerry. All their books were $2, but it was half off day, so I got the books for $1 each. And this one has been very red. Very dirty pages, but that's fine. And then they had some Telltales, of course. I feel like any estate sale that has a home that has people in it that were born in the 50s are gonna have these. These are probably just very easy books to buy for a child for a birthday present or something. It says 15 cents. I wonder if that was the original price of it. It's just so cute. And now I do have this one already in my collection, but I love it so much I have not wanted to use it. So now I have no excuse. This one was just very interesting. The Toy Party, Stevie and Todd Have a Dream. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. And then the illustrations were very unique and bold, I guess. The font is like a calligraphy type font, which I thought was also interesting. These were all in the attic, so they have a very attic smell. The house was a Cape Cod with a finished attic, and then like not attached, but with a breezeway, there was a 2-car garage with a full attic, unfinished attic, but dormer windows, so you could stand up and walk around in it. And that was where all of this most of what I found was in that attic. And it was literally dig. Just get in there and dig. There was no air conditioning. It was just a big fan. And I literally got down on my knees and started reaching into bins and boxes and prayed that I did not grab a hold of a mouse or something. But I love digging for treasure like that. Some of the best things I have found for junk journals have been in attics. This is a book that I have seen other people find, and I've never found it. What is this? Oh. Maybe this is like a checkout slip. That's interesting. And then Speckles and the Triplets. I'm assuming Speckles is the Dalmatian. So cute. And then I grabbed this one. This one, the illustrations are absolutely beautiful. This lady, I think is the same lady that wrote, yes, she wrote the story of The Legend of the Three Wise Men. And so it's just a very Eastern looking book is all I can say. The illustrations are very unique, very geometric looking, lots of teal and yellow and gold. Wouldn't that be fun to make a whole journal of those colors? So yeah, I thought that was fun for $1. Why not? My husband actually found that one for me. Here is the tin. Is this not the most cute shape? And I've already taken the little toys out of it, obviously. I gotta wash this, it's dusty. I picked this up. It's new old stock of one of those vinyl shower curtain liners. I like to use fabric shower curtain liners, but when I saw this mauve one, I was like, oh my goodness, this is just like the one my grandma had in the bathroom, where is now our master bath. She had a mauve and blue bathroom for many, many years in that room, and I think they eventually changed it to all blue, but I remember this, and I was like, I'm gonna get this to actually use. I picked up some wallpaper at this yard sale, y'all. This is so 80s. Little tulips, I guess, but just round. I love this pattern. And then I found a border. I love the wallpaper that looks like it's been stamped. Like block print with paint. I love that kind. I'm not a fan of the bands. They're kind of boring to me, but I could always cut those off. And then this was not in the house currently, so I'm guessing it was maybe in the house when they moved in, or maybe it was in the kitchen and then they took it down to renovate the kitchen. But isn't this so charming? Very colonial looking to me. Love the colors. Oh, I forgot about this little guy. He's quite twisted around, but he was in that tin with the little wind-ups. I used to buy those when I made assemblages. Okay, I got a bag of trim. This is all very dusty, so I'm gonna have to clean up when I'm done. And I might honestly hand wash these and soak these. These were all in the attic. But look, she had so much fabric. I'll show you the fabric in a minute. She sewed, and she had a lot of fabric, but a lot of trim. And a lot of the fabric was upholstery and home decor fabrics, which I don't really want unless it's super, kitschy. So I had to maneuver through piles of that to get to what I really wanted. But it's very hard for me to find vintage trim, like edging trim for journals, and this is beautiful. I also like to use this when I embellish clothing, like if I have a jacket, I want to put a trim on the bottom, or I love to put this kind of stuff on the bottom of pants or jeans, just to boho them up a little bit. So I got that yellow one, and then I got this beautiful camel colored one that is, it feels more like a jute, but it is, I think it's just a cotton. But isn't that so fun? I think that'd be so fun on jeans. And y'all, I found authentic vintage green pom-pom trim. These all smell so attic-y. And then I had this beautiful peach lace, and then I have this edge lace with, more places for ribbon if you want to do that with light blue. How pretty. There was one little piece of jacquard in here. There were some piping, so I'll probably redonate these. I normally don't use piping trims in my... Now, those of you who are more sewer knowledgeable than me have to tell me what this is. I see this everywhere, but I'm not really sure what it is. Other than, is it just trim that you weave something through, or is it like a seam binding type thing? I probably won't use that. There were a lot of colored laces that were very narrow. I don't know why she has so much of these things. Like, this is more than you would ever need. This reminds me of the kind of lace that you would see trimming vintage nightgowns or something. So maybe she used to sew that kind of thing. I don't know. The only like slinky fabrics that I saw in her stash, I found several colors of satin. I didn't buy that, but maybe she did make nightgowns. And then this beautiful blue is a very French blue. And then some maroon, which I don't think I have anything in my stash this color. And here is seam binding in like an ecru color. And then we have this cornflower, or I guess that's more of a periwinkle. And teal in the same design. This is so pretty. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. This delicate light pink with little daisy shapes. And a little bit of brown. I think that's all. I think I've shown you all of the designs. So. One more trim. I found this beautiful boho fringe. So pretty. I love it when I find stuff like this. I have been looking at my craft reuse store for several weeks for this right here, and I have not seen any. So I was glad to find it at this sale. Look at this. This is a treasure, y'all. I found a planning pad. Revco price tag. And on the back, she has written down the characters and the Waltons, which I think is just so amazing. And it kind of dates this pad, too. It shows you about when she was writing in it. But look, she did, I think it's called husk embroidery. She did a lot of that, and there was a lot of that in the house, but I didn't buy any. But it looks like she may have designed her own designs at some point, and she color-coded it and made notes. That looks like a gingerbread house and a candy cane. Mailbox cover, maybe? Like even the flag? I don't know. Maybe she just did a picture of a mailbox. I don't know. And then she made a stick horse. Maybe it was just a husk embroidery picture of one. And then doorstop. I love how she plans everything out first. Some more. Looks like she used crayons. And that's it. The rest of it's just plain, and I can use it. But that was a fun find. She also did macrame, and a lot of it was priced in the house, but I was able to find this one in the attic, and it is that jute cord, and it is really cool. It's almost sturdy enough to be outside. That might be what she used it for, and it has a very strong jute smell to it. All right, let's do the fabrics. So my fabric selection is not large here because I was being so selective. I mean, I really asked myself questions before I put it in my box. Like I said, there was a lot of home decor. There was a lot of vintage, but there were several vintage things that were, although they were beautiful, they were just a little bit, either the print was too big, it would have looked good on drapery or something, or a nightgown or something, but for a smaller journal, the scale was off. Or I neglected to pick it up because it was, I guess, too pastel or too washed out. I love pastels, but my favorite thing is color. Y'all know that. So I chose the most bright, colorful things I could. And I tried to only get cottons, but I ended up getting a flannel in here as well. So this was not in the attic. This was the one piece of fabric that was in the house because they had all the Christmas stuff together. I found this adorable Christmas patchwork, calico patchwork. And she had things in that same box that she had made with this, like aprons and stuff like that. So this one is a little stained. I need to wash all of this stuff today. This was probably my favorite fabric find. I don't think I've ever seen this print before. It is thicker. It's more of a, I guess you can use it to make like a shift dress or, you know, something thicker for the kitchen maybe. But it is cotton. Look, it says cute tomato. Is that not so cute? And I think that's a strawberry. No, that's also a tomato. But some of them have faces. I don't know why she bought this, because it doesn't even look cut. But I just couldn't leave it there. Oh, it's got a little bit of a, maybe it was the end of a bolt and she got it on a low price. Sometimes, you know, the irregulars are marked down. That might be what happened. Look at this, guys. Now, a lot of this is, I would call it drapery material. Some of it, like this right here is a finished, no, not this. One of them has a finished hem. Here it is. I mean, obviously that's hand sewn. These must have been drapery panels. And then she cut them up and folded them for use later. But it is definitely like a chintz type cotton. And it is so beautiful. Beautiful brushed roses. Oh my goodness. This lady loved florals. And I don't think she's passed away. I think she had just moved out. She loves florals, sheep, and the color pink. Because we found a lot of pink, a lot of florals in the whole house. And she loved sheep. There were so many sheep stuffed animals, pictures of sheep, sheep pot holders, sheep plates. I mean, you name it. There were more sheep items. This reminds me of a Kath Kidston print. It really does. And I don't think it is because it's very old. It's probably from the 70s. But I don't know. It's just so beautiful. It's a light blue with primary colored. It almost looks like the layered stencils, you know, that you can buy now. I have seen this material before, like scanned in on Pinterest and stuff. This one has a stain on it. But isn't it pretty? The blue, the green, and the lavender. It looks very wallpaper-esque to me. This is probably the chintziest chintz that I have. See how shiny this is? Can y'all see the gleam on it in the light? It almost looks like an oilcloth, but it's not. It's cotton. But, oh my goodness, it's just so cute. And it's my favorite colored combo, orange, green, and yellow. I literally about screamed when I saw this piece. And then another beautiful, honestly, the edge of this looks kind of like a sheet. I wonder if she cut up some sheets. If y'all know sheet patterns, let me know if this looks like a sheet pattern. It's got maybe camellias, roses, and butterflies. That may just be the selvage, I don't know. So beautiful. And here's another one. This one is not, I think this one's just fat. Nope, it has a finished hem too. I bet she had rose curtains in every room at some point. So gorgeous. It almost looks like bark cloth type design, but it's a very thin fabric. Sheerish, but not quite. Oops, I'm dropping stuff. Dust is literally falling out of these onto my desk. This 70s patchwork. Very interesting. I've never seen large florals embedded within patchwork type things. So I thought that was interesting. Two tiny little pieces of scrap that I found. Strawberries and this. I have seen this before, but have never found any. But I've seen crafters use this and I love it. I love the colors. I love the design, the scattered dots, flowers. And the last fabric that I found was this flannel. And let me try that again. Does this not look like a flannel nightgown with the vertical floral rose? So as I'm looking at all this now, everything has this dingy, aged yellowing to it. So I'm going to try to wash these things in OxiClean and see what happens. All right, that was all for the estate sale. We did get a couple more things there that were not junk journaling related. My husband found a stereo receiver and speakers for his garage gym. Very excited about that because he's been looking for that for months. And he found an alarm clock for me that was just like the one my parents had when I was a kid. And my daughter found several psychology-based books. She is a psych major, and she was very excited about that. And yeah. Oh, a coffee maker. We found a Italian stovetop coffee maker. So that was our day at the 50% off estate sale. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is the Woolworths style 5 and 10 store. I found this wallpaper. This wrapping paper. It's not vintage. It says 2022. And it's the Papercraft brand. But look, does this not look like fabric? It's got like a linen pattern to it. And the colors are so like a muted primary. And then the way the overlap is, it reminds me of that Japanese copier style art. I had to have this for cards and tags. Y'all might have seen my short. If you haven't, please go look at my short. This store had drawer liner, like contact paper and other types of drawer liner by the yard. I think it was $1.50 a yard. They had some that I remember my mom buying when I was in like middle school. I used to cover some of my school notebooks with contact paper so I can, I guess, renew them and make them look fresh and new for a new year. But yeah, I was blown away. I was like, are you serious? This is from the early 90s. So I did buy a couple of yards of that. But I also found this. This is not vintage, but it looks like it. This says 20... I could have sworn I saw a date on here at some point. Oh, here it is. 2021. It's the tulip design, magic cover. And I got 3 yards of this. Look at this beautiful, very delicate rum pink with blue flowers and a trellis. This is Easy On brand. And then this is much older. This is probably early 90s again. Look at these little cats. And this is Contact brand. And it has that old adhesive smell to it. I love that. I love that you can still find stores that have stuff that old for sale. That's not a thrift store. Some of this I'm going to not show you because it's for the 80s journals and I'm not getting into that right now. When I decide to make those, to show you what I'm gathering for those, I'll show you that stuff. But I did find this ribbon. I have seen this before. I don't think it's super vintage, but I love the Ditsy floral. And I know they make it with other backgrounds. They only had the brown. And it was a cut your own ribbon station. And it was kind of like a an honor system. So you cut it yourself. They had yardsticks sort of glued to the shelf. And then you write down how many dollars per yard it was and how many yards you did, and they just took it at your word. So I got 3 yards of this beautiful brown. And then the last thing, let's see, 2 more things, that and this. I found these. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but they were too cute to pass up. They're cupcake toppers that look like little ice cream cones, and most of it looks like chocolate chip mint. So this store has a lot of cake decorating supplies and party supplies in it. So that's why these were in there. And they had a lot of stuff that I didn't care about, but this was the only pack of ice cream they had. And then I got this. They also have a small sewing section in this store. And I've been wanting a retractable tape measure to put in my purse. I've been carrying around a metal one. What are those things called? You know, the really hard metal ones, but they're the small version. I didn't want to carry that anymore. Also, it's really heavy. This is the tape, like the fabric tape. And the reason I carry this around with me is I'm always at a craft store or a home decor store, and I cannot remember, like I know generally how big a space is of something I want to hang on the wall or something, but I'm not sure if it'll fit. And that includes furniture as well. So this is just a quick way for me to drop it in my purse and measure so I won't buy something too big for a space. That's it, y'all. That took a while. How many minutes? 35. That's not terrible. But let me know what your favorite item was. I know all of y'all fabric people are going to tell me the fabric was your favorite. And I may have to agree with you. It was pretty awesome. I come across estate sales like that maybe once a year where I'll find fabric that high quality and the prints are just amazing like that. So yeah, I'll be thinking about this estate sale for quite a while. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.